The month of March is just around the corner, and we recently covered the best upcoming Switch games for the month of March on this channel. And I thought to myself, you know what? It's time we start talking about the PS4. It's time we start talking about the Xbox One. Those are two platforms I own and really enjoy. So in this video, we're going to spotlight the best upcoming games for the PS4 and the Xbox One in the month of March. There's actually a really good variety of stuff, from sports games to racing games to RPGs to games that people have really been looking forward to for quite a while now, coming out on the PS4 and the Xbox One in March of 2018. So sit back, relax, grab a drink, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about the best upcoming games coming to the PS4 and the Xbox One in March 2018.
Hey, RGT 85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards! Now, these first two games I want to talk about both come out on March 6th, and they are both coming out on the Nintendo Switch as well. So if you watch the Nintendo Switch video, which I suggest you do, it's always better to be informed about all platforms, you may have seen me cover these two games, so I'll talk about them very briefly. But the first game is Fear Effect Sedna. Now, Fear Effect, of course, was an awesome franchise from back in the PS1 days, a franchise that I really enjoyed playing as a kid, and I'm glad to see that it's back. And you know, it's a different style of game. It has sort of that top-down isometric view that reminds me of games like Crusader No Remorse and Syndicate, Shadowrun. It's definitely more based on puzzle solving as well than the traditional tank controls of the original game, but I think this is still going to be a really fun, solid entry in the Fear Effect series, just from a story standpoint. Obviously, the story is going to be very dark, gritty, and adult-themed like the original Fear Effect games were, and I think that it has a really good chance of making a lasting impression on people. We're obviously looking forward to more Fear Effect stuff, so I'm looking forward to this game personally. The next game I want to talk about releases on March 9th for the PS4 and the Xbox One. Like I said, I did cover this on the Switch video, so I'll keep it very brief, but Scribblenauts Showdown. Now, Scribblenauts Showdown is a bit of a deviation from the original Scribblenauts formula. Instead of being a solo action-adventure game where you create your own things, this is a party game, and so if you have local friends, you like to do local multiplayer, I think this is going to be a very satisfying game. It still has that Scribblenauts look and feel to it, where you can pretty much create anything you want. You want to put Jesus on a raptor with lasers coming out of his head, you can do that. And that's what the fun is in these games, is just creating your own sort of stuff. There's going to be a sandbox mode as well for puzzles. I think it's going to be a really solid entry in the Scribblenauts series. I would like to see a more traditional Scribblenauts entry, but I think this is still going to be a fun deviation. Like I said, this comes out on March 9th for the PS4 and the Xbox One, so keep your eyes out for it if you're into local multiplayer. The Devil May Cry series is a very popular action hack and slash series that many people have very fond memories of, but unfortunately, Devil May Cry has been pretty quiet lately. We haven't seen too much from it. They've done some changes to the character design. Some people like it, some people don't, but if you prefer that original design, I've got good news for you, because on March 13th, you'll be able to pick up the Devil May Cry HD collection on both the Xbox One and the PS4. Now, this is a collection of the first three games, remastered to HD, very similar to the PS3 one that released a few years ago, but of course, this has better graphics, and I think it's going to be awesome. It really ushers in new players who maybe didn't play Devil May Cry games when they originally released on the PS2 or did not play the HD versions last generation. It's a great way to experience these games again on your new modern platform. So like I said, the Devil May Cry HD collection comes out on the PS4 and the Xbox One on March 13th, and it's definitely a game that I have circled on my radar because I love games like that. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. I want you, please take me home, yeah. I think I sing better than Axel does nowadays, but yes, Burnout Paradise Remastered, a game that was heavily rumored, a game that a lot of people have been hearing murmurs about, all of a sudden is now coming out on March 16th to the PS4 and the Xbox One worldwide. And if you've never played a Burnout game, expect lots of fast racing, expect lots of big crashes, expect lots of fun. The Burnout series is a really great series. It's a franchise that EA has pretty much done pretty well with, and they've never really mucked it up, and I've always been very impressed with it. It's a very fun game. game. I love Burnout 3 probably the most because Burnout Paradise City is basically a more open world game. Burnout Paradise has you going and finding your own mission, sort of like the modern Need for Speed games are, where you're just driving around, you come across a race, you come across a different sort of destruction mission, you got to do this, that, and the other. But they're such fun, fantastic games. I love playing Burnout games, and it's great to see this game brought back to the PS4 and the Xbox One. It was a huge hit on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, one of the highest downloaded games, one of the highest rated games on the platform. So as long as they do a good job beefing up the visuals, I think Burnout Paradise is just going to be a fantastic game. Definitely a game you'll want to check out on either platform. Whichever platform you own, you're going to have your chance to play Burnout Paradise, and I highly suggest you do because you are in for a great time. The next game was also covered in the Nintendo Switch video, so I'll keep it very brief, but Attack on Titan 2 is coming to the PS4 and the Xbox One and Nintendo Switch on March 20th. Now, Attack on Titan 2 is based on a very popular anime series that, like I said, I don't really know anything about it. I don't watch anime. I don't do that sort of stuff. It's not really just interesting to me, but I do like the style of this game with these huge titans and you and your friends taking them down and hacking and slashing and all sorts of fun stuff. It looks like a really cool game, honestly. It seems like there's a good following for the first game. There's online multiplayer in Attack on Titan 2, so you could team up with your friends and take down different titans. I think this game is going to be a really solid game. I don't know too much about the franchise, the backstory and all that, who these titans are, why they're there, but I love big towering creatures. I want more Godzilla stuff and King Kong stuff. So Attack on Titan 2 will definitely scratch that itch for me because big characters are cool. Like, who doesn't love big characters? So Attack on Titan 2, available on the PS4, available on the Xbox One, and available on the Nintendo Switch, March 20th. Ni no Kuni was a surprise hit on the PS3 that ended up having a really big cult following, and Ni no Kuni II is coming exclusively to the PS4 on March 23rd. Now, if you're not familiar with the Ni no Kuni series, it's a very highly stylized game. You could just look at the lush visuals and the art style and realize this is a true JRPG, and the game looks absolutely fantastic. Whether you're doing the free roam stuff, whether you're doing the mission stuff, you could go out into towns and dungeons and stuff and explore. You can create your own little army and have them go do missions. You can also create your own kingdom and build up your own kingdom from the ground up to really expand upon everything. I think Ni no Kuni is going to be a big hit with PS4 owners. This looks like one of the best JRPGs so far of the year of 2018. The original game was very well received. It has a cult following, like I said, and I think that cult following is just going to expand with Ni no Kuni 2. This releases on March 23rd. Unfortunately, a PS4 exclusive, so Xbox One owners, you won't be able to check this game out, but if you do have a PS4, I definitely recommend that Ni no Kuni 2 be on your list because it just looks awesome. It just looks so freaking good. The next game is also a PS4 exclusive, so Xbox One owners, you are left out on the dust on this title, but MLB 2018 The Show. Now, I know we get sports games every year, and a lot of people don't like sports games, but if you're a baseball fan, the MLB The Show series has been pretty much the bread and butter of baseball. It's pretty much the only ball game in town besides RBI baseball, but it's done so well that it doesn't even matter at this point in the game. You've got new facial animations, you've got new graphical styles, you've got all sorts of new stuff. Of course, you have the new rosters and you have the new statistics. You have all sorts of cool stuff. It's just a very highly polished baseball game. If you always like the 7th inning stretch, if you want to be taken out to the ball game, taken out to the crowd, buy you some peanuts, buy you some Cracker Jacks, you don't care if you ever come back, then you're gonna pick up MLB 2018 The Show. I'm sure a lot of you guys have had that circled on your radar because baseball games, they're still pretty fun. I do prefer the older ones. You know, give me some Ken Griffey Slugfest on the Super Nintendo, but MLB 2018 The Show looks like a fantastic baseball game. So baseball fans, if you own a PS4, you need to check that one out. And finally, we have the game that I'm looking forward to the most when it comes to the PS4 or the Xbox One in the month of March 27th. Folks, Far Cry 5. Let's talk about Far Cry. Far Cry has been a very interesting series. It always seems to sort of redevelop itself and reimagine itself as a different sort of game. When you look at the original Far Cry all the way up to Far Cry 4, you can see a big difference in sorts of gameplay style and how the game has just sort of changed and evolved over time. And Far Cry 5, undoubtedly looks like the best version of Far Cry ever. If anything, just because of the story. There's a crazy cult leader who has a cult going on where he's sort of the leader of it, and he's trying to wipe out, the extermination. Very David Koresh sort of stuff, if you've ever followed the Waco, Texas thing, sort of like that. And it's really dark, and I love stories like that. I love stories about cult leaders and whatnot. I just think it's so fascinating how they're able to just transform and brainwash people into thinking their own way. So they're trying to exterminate people in the world. They're all holed up, and you have to go in there and pretty much break up their operation. It takes place in Montana, and I love stuff like that. I love stuff that takes place in sort of real world locations in the United States because it just feels more realistic. It feels like something that could actually potentially happen. So I'm super looking forward to this game. I think it's just going to be a fantastic game. I'm so ready to experience the story of Far Cry 5. Whether you own a PS4, whether you own an Xbox One, Far Cry 5 on March 27th definitely needs to be on your radar. I think it's going to be the biggest game of March overall, and it's a game that I'm totally stoked to play and totally thrilled to check out and take down this damn cult leader. All right, and so that is going to do it for the best upcoming games of March 2018 for the PS4 and the Xbox One. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, this is going to be a monthly thing now. I'm going to do one for the Switch, and I'm going to do one for the PS4 and the Xbox One about a week before the end of the month, so you guys can stay up to date and keep in the know of what games to come out, what games are coming out, and what games you need to look for. Now, give me some feedback in the comments section down below. Let me know what games you're looking forward to, what games you plan on picking up for these systems, because honestly, there's a lot of stuff coming out on all three platforms, especially when you look at the Switch video, which I suggest you do if you own a Nintendo Switch or you're interested in the system. There's a lot of different games spread across these platforms that are very enticing and very interesting. March could actually be a very busy month for the world of video games. So make sure you check out that other Switch video to look at those games. Thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notifications so you can stay up to date. Everything going on in the world of retro gaming, modern gaming, and everything in between. And thank you. I sincerely appreciate you guys checking out this video. I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.